This giant, jolly man is at the center of the Miami Dolphins defense.
He's a menace.
Yeah, but he's also jolly. It's a little confusing. Like, I'd want him to chase me to go and celebrate a party, but I wouldn't want him to chase me if we were, if I didn't want to be harmed.
Right.
And so thank you, Christian Wilkins, for being on with us. Just explain to me, though, is there anyone in your locker room having more fun than you are?
First of all, thanks for having me. I appreciate being on the show. Definitely, watched the show for a while, so thanks for having me on. But yeah, I guess not. I really enjoy my job. I really love what I do. I'm happy to be doing what I love. So I always bring a kid spirit and a fun spirit playing this game because it's definitely brings me a lot of joy. So I have a lot of fun with it. So I'm always going to have a good time.
You are also, though, the best talker on the team, correct? Not just in interview settings, but in terms of on the field, correct? You're the everyone would concede Christian is the best trash talker we have.
I was going to say, most would say that's probably the case. But yeah, I'm just doing me out there most of the time, having a good time, having a fun time playing the game I always played my whole life. So. Most probably would say I can trash talk.
Who would be second? Who would object to you being nominated as the best trash talker?
That's a good question. I really like Jalen's got some stuff, especially when he gets going, when he gets into it. Jalen Ramsey, but I think I'll probably take the top spot. But we could both get cooking together a little bit and ruffle some feathers. So.
Are you talking trash to everyone, or are you waiting to spot a weakness in someone that you're playing against and then start talking trash to them?
Hey, this trash talk thing is an art. I'm always turned up on game day, going all day, every day. But then when there's something specific I could potentially get on or really, dive into a little bit, I mean, that's when it might show up a little bit more. But yeah, I'm just nonstop out there pretty much.
All right, we're going to give you here some video from that popular Kelce podcast here, and I want you to break it. I want you to break this down with us.
Something about a good insult where it's like you can't even get mad at it. It's just great.
You got to tell the one, man.
Which one? I got a bunch.
You got to tell the Miami joint practice one.
Dude, Wilkins was talking trash just in the practice. So he was talking trash, and then I started yapping at him, which pretty big party foul by me because I wasn't able to practice.
You were practicing, yeah.
So I'm over here yelling, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jalen Phillips says, "Shut up, eyebrows. You ain't even practicing." And I was like, dude. Just called me eyebrows? Like, I can't even come back from that. Like,
that boy got some thick-ass eyebrows, man.
Like the dad from American Pie. I mean, it's, there ain't too many dudes got eyebrows like this.
What do you have for us there, Christian?
No, it's pretty, everything he said is pretty spot on. It was a joint practice, and it was like later on in camp, so the energy was kind of low and whatever. So I just got going. I was just like, man, let's go. I just kind of set the tone and was talking trash and kind of got everybody fired up on both sides, the Eagles side, our side, and just kind of got everybody going. And like Jason said, he wasn't even practicing. He was just kind of off to the side, just over there. But he was like getting into it because he saw me kind of going. So, he's the leader of their team. So he's like, getting his O-line fired up and everything. But yeah, and so like the next play got kind of chippy, and I guess Jalen just looked over at him and he didn't know who he was. Jalen was young at the time. He didn't know. I guess he doesn't know who Jason Kelce is, and he's just like, man, stop talking eyebrows. Like, you're not even practicing. It was just like that. But it was real funny. The energy at practice was great. And that's why I said kind of the art of trash talking. I kind of got everybody fired up, kind of got everybody going, and that's what I honestly wanted, just to bring that intensity to practice and kind of set the tone for my teammates.
I don't think that us watching the game can possibly understand, just watching, who's a good center and who's not a good center. So you tell us, Jason Kelce, in terms of people that you've played against, what does the top of that list look like where you're impressed by someone's strength and someone's size and mobility, and you're like, all right, I got my hands full today. This one's going to be a little harder than most.
Yeah, Jason's one of them just because he's a vet. He's savvy. He just, knows where his help is, everything. There's some good ones around, and there's some underrated ones too as well. I really like Ted Karras. He was a former teammate of mine. But he's just stronger than most centers, and he's got that grit too. He's got that nastiness to him, which is rare a lot of the time for a lot of centers or offensive linemen. He's one of them. Yeah, there's a few guys around. Obviously Ryan Kelly, he's pretty good as well. But yeah, those are just a couple of them when I think about it that come to mind immediately.
Is anyone ever stronger than you?
I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not the strong. I'm not gonna say it like I'm the strongest man in the world, but I can.
No,
always,
but I don't mean anyone in the world. I just mean,
No, I got
do
you.
you
No,
ever
I know.
feel a
You
center?
You insulted him,
Do you
Dan.
feel a center strength and are like, okay, this guy is as strong as I am?
Absolutely. There's some good players in this league. There's some good, strong players in this league. You just got to find other ways to get your job done effectively if they're a little stronger than you, if they got, some silverback qualities to them. So, yeah.
Christian, I want to know what is your official review of the Tyreek Hill-led roller coaster touchdown celebration?
So I didn't know that was planned. That was actually pretty elite, if I do say so myself. Like the offense has been doing a great job putting up some points, and then also just having some swag and having some fun, when they do score. And I'm glad I get a front row seat to it a lot of the time, and I try to join in as much as I can because it's a lot of fun. And our offense is so explosive. But that was top tier right there. I didn't know that was planned. They did it, and I was like just as surprised as everyone. I thought that was well executed, well done. And shout out to Rob Hunt. I didn't realize he was doing the seat, but that was a nice touch. I didn't realize that till later on. But yeah, that was really cool. Exactly, they did a good job. The details were elite, and the execution was elite.
Has Fangio ever laughed?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still waiting to, maybe in his own way, he'll give like a smirk, like he's kind of got his his old man humor, but he's cool. I love Fangio, but yeah, he's definitely got like his ways and his jokes and kind of like his dad jokes or like his dad moments, and he's just like kind of real subtle. He's not as animated as me per se, but he's got his moments.
This is not Greg. Please stop drinking during the interview.
Christ,
we hear you drinking. We can
Sorry,
hear
your water bottle.
It's just not something.
I did not realize that.
You're in
I'm
front of
sorry.
a microphone. It picks up
Okay.
what you're doing.
Okay, I
Christian,
apologize.
I'm putting you in a bad spot here, and on the front end. This is not gotcha journalism. It's just me asking the question that's not meant to trap you, but you've watched enough of this offense and its changes to be able to answer this question for me in a way that, if you're honest about it, might give us some insight. So if I ask you and make you to choose one MVP of your offense, and it's Tua or McDaniel or Hill or Mostert or whoever you want to pick as your MVP, with the front end saying, I'm forcing you to pick one.
Yeah.
This is not gotcha journalism. Just help me understand who's the MVP of this offense. What's your answer?
Ooh, that's really tough. That's a good question. You could go a lot of different ways with this because, again, our offense is crazy, so many different weapons. But I'm gonna give a shout out to some people that don't get a lot of credit. And subtly, I would say Alec Ingold.
This is a lie.
That is well
This
done.
is a lie.
Master class. Master class. Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
No. I'm not. There ain't no lie. I'm standing on business, and his value and what he brings to the offense is insurmountable. Really, just the versatility he brings and the different things he does, and really just he sets the tone a lot of the time for our offense. So I'm gonna say that number one. No, I'm standing on business, and I'm gonna say that. Yes, right. Alec, number one, and number one. That's 1A and 1B. I'm gonna give a shout out to my boys up front because they've been doing a great, solid job all year. And they get great looks and great reps in practice going against our D-line. So they're prepared for what they see on Sunday. And they've been doing a great job all year. So those are my two MVPs.
That is a master class in avoiding a question, Dan. You will not trap Christian Wilkins. Yeah.
He just swim moved you.
I'm going to give him a standing ovation right now.
You're a loser.
Hell of a swim move right there.
Low man wins. Low man wins.
Way to go.
All right. So after them, if I give you the only three choices, you're not the only veteran here. If I only give you the three choices of McDaniel and Tua and Hill, after Ingold in your offensive line, which is a answer, total
Hell no, you're not gonna get me. No.
Okay, so
No, I said what I said, and I'm standing on business. I said what I said.
all right. Speaking of business, you were very professional this offseason when the business of money made an appearance. And how difficult was that for you in a sport where you're breaking your bodies on behalf of the organization and everyone in your huddle wants to get their money?
Yeah, like you said, it's just part of the business. But at this point of the season, I just love ball and I love playing with my teammates and I'm having a lot of fun. So that's really just the focus for me, is just being the best I can now for my guys and having a lot of fun, because this year has been great. This is the most fun I probably had in football in a while. And now, and that's saying a lot, because I enjoy this game. I love this game. And I just, play with such passion. And for this year, just to be as special as it is, not because of wins, not because of nothing, but just because of the people and everything. It's just been a lot of fun. So I'm just, just enjoying it while I have it now. And just being a part of this team. We're having a great time, and just the energy around here is great. And all that, everybody who's working in the building. It's been a lot of fun this year, just a lot of different energy. So I'm just excited to be a part of that.
If you had to pick what felt better, here or Clemson, here or all the winning at Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson was definitely obviously really special for me. Great university, go Tigers. Clemson was really obviously special for me, and I had a great time there, winning championships and finding my best friends for life. The other D linemen that I was there that are in the league now, that was real cool and real awesome. And there's really, there wasn't really any time like college, because that's when you're coming into adulthood and and you're finding your way with your brothers. You're all just broke and hungry, and you know what I'm saying, and just trying to go get it, and and all that stuff. So that was special. But like I said, this year has been really fun too, and just really special for me to this point, and hopefully there's more good times to come ahead.
We have less than a minute here, Christian. Did Florida State get robbed?
I'm an ACC guy. I think, with the circumstances, and, it's tough because it is Florida State, but I think they definitely should have made it. They earned the right, they're undefeated in a Power 5 conference. So I think that they've earned the right to be in there.
But we can laugh at them, right?
It's pretty fun, though. FSU, right? Come on.
You're right. Yeah. Oh, man. But, hey, like I said, wait, time out real quick. I got a question for you, Dan, because, I said I've been watching the show for a while. How's Poppy, man? That was my guy. I loved when y'all used to get on and sing on the show. And, during the little breaks, he'd do like the singing. I'll never forget the one time he was singing Migos. That was hilarious. But, yeah, like I said, I always watch the show. So I just wanted to check in and see how Poppy's doing.
Thank you for asking. He will be thrilled that you asked, even though he prefers only Cuban Dolphins. Those are his favorite. Those are his. They're just. They're.
Wepa. I know a little Cuban. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, I've been down here for. I know a little Espanol.
He just turned 80, so he will be very happy to hear that the center of the Dolphin defense, an underrated Dolphin defense, is a fan. Thank you for making the time. We're a fan too, sir. It's been a pleasure to watch you work.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's definitely humbling. Thank you for having me on the show.
All right. Thank you, Christian.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
That was fun, man. Thank you.
All right, good deal. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
too,
I noticed, Chris Cody, you said that under your breath. I understand you said that well said to him because he said, thank you for having me on the program.
He said it in my ear.
Yeah, and he said, well said, but then he ran out. That guy ran out like a coward.
Right.
Like a coward. Good seeing you, Christian.
All right, y'all.
Yesterday, Tony had to put napkins in his nose because he went 90 minutes without being able to talk about professional Sunday football, and the takes were kind of coming out of him, but there was no room at the microphones, and I believe Lucy has needed the same kind of tissues today because she has a lot of college football opinions, and we covered this ground so thoroughly yesterday. But Lucy, you're one of our experts on the incredibly popular, not named Foot Girls, but Jessica yesterday slipped up and kind of said it was okay.
She speaks for her, not me.
To name it Foot Girls. She slipped on it, but we took that as consent, and we want to call it Foot Girls. Lucy doesn't want it Foot Girls, but Lucy and Jessica are doing one of the best college football podcasts that are out there, and I do want your expertise here to explain to me everything you saw, what was funniest as you've consumed all of the jokes on social media. Lay out for us what's the best stuff from everything that you saw in the chaos of Sunday.
Oof, that is a tough ask, but I think the funniest part is the collective agreement that Man, this had to be really wrong for us to all feel bad for Florida State. That is the team that we are. Oh my God, that is the team we are sympathizing with. There's a foot in my face for the audio listeners.
All right, listen. Let's do it this way, Lucy. We will support your analysis, and you can go for as long as you like talking about college football. All of us will simply support you and let's make this light, not too loud, so that the audience can hear what she's doing. We will support you with the soundtrack to this, okay? But your analysis, don't get distracted. Don't let us distract you. Are you ready?
All right, this is my moment.
All right.
All right, so my biggest takeaway from this is that I don't think it really mattered that Alabama beat Georgia. I think regardless, Florida State was going to get left out. When they dropped Florida State to 5 2 weeks ago after Jordan Travis got hurt, they made that decision that they were going to cut Florida State out. And I actually don't think it's because Jordan Travis got hurt. I think it's because the ACC is bad, and they're punishing Florida State for being in the ACC, and I think this is going to be the death of it. Like, this is going to be the nail in the coffin that ends that conference. This whole thing was all going to happen. They were always going to leave Florida State out. That was always the plan. And I feel bad for them. I feel really rough. And people are coming out and saying it's TCU's fault. It's not TCU's fault. If people are coming out and saying it's because of the injury, it's really not 100% because of the injury. This was all a master plan to get us to like the 12-team playoff, even though I think that's a bad idea as well.
So
close.
You had it. It's okay. We'll do it again.
This is really
People
close to my
chanting
mouth.
foot.
We'll do
and
it
I really
again.
don't like it. It is really close to my mouth.
Why did the committee put FSU 4 before that if they were going to do this?
I have no idea. The committee really hurt themselves by putting Alabama at 8 when I think they always knew whoever won that game between Georgia and Alabama, they were going to put in. They honestly should have put Alabama up earlier, but there was no real way to do it. You couldn't put them above Texas. They have a head-to-head loss to Texas. Oregon, Washington, it would have been weird to drop them for no reason. Like, it was just a weird situation where they screwed themselves over with the rankings. But let me tell you now, they were never going to let Florida State in. That was always the plan. Like, if Georgia had won, Georgia would have made it. Agreed? Florida State still wouldn't have been there.
Are you in agreement with Stephen A. Smith that everything else is totally the same, but Deion Sanders is the coach of FSU because they gave him the job instead of Norvell? Yes or no?
Say that one more time.
Arch, flat.
Stephen A. Smith had the best take of any of the takes when he argued that if FSU, all the things were the same, but Deion Sanders was their coach, they'd be in.
Yes. Well, the problem with that is Stephen A. put that right next to the dumbest take of all time, which is that it was because TCU got blown out by Georgia, even though they won the semifinal game against Michigan. So it kind of negated it for me a little, but that is true. But it was this weird thing that I saw yesterday of people being like, Florida State's not there because of TV ratings. Florida State is a team people tune into. That doesn't really make sense to me, but I do believe, I agree with him 100%. If Deion were the head coach, absolutely they would have made it.
Toes. The optics of this are troubling to me.
Chris
I
Cody,
didn't enjoy that.
I am going.
Not as much as I thought I would, anyways.
Chris Cody, I am going to, at some point during the show, I am going to unveil what would have been my top 4.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah, I mean, we asked yesterday. You gave us Washington, so you're going to give us the other 3?
Feels like he has 10 teams in there.
Well, it's
He's
fine.
got to have full drama. He's got to show us a 6. You need to know how things really
Right.
were shaking out.
Top 6.
Start at 6, yeah.
The advantage that our show has over all other pods in the market is time spent listening, time spent watching. I've got to drag it out. I
TSL.
prefer to. I prefer to
TSW.
do it at the end of the week, but I've been forced by this situation to do it today because you can only tease the audience so much. But speaking of teasing and teases, Mike Ryan's father, we discovered yesterday as a group, is beautiful. And we also discovered yesterday that somehow he is older than Greg Cody. And I can't believe that those two human beings, that Greg Cody is the younger one. Please put up behind me the picture of Greg Cody looking finest, looking as good as he's ever looked. And find for me the picture as well of Mike Ryan's father so that we can put next to each other these two human beings so that people can see. Because Mike Ryan's father, I couldn't believe, Greg Cody, that he is older than you, even though you are very discreet about your age. You try not to tell people what your age is. You're weirdly protective of that.
Really? I mean, I've mentioned it on my own Greg Cody Show
5
podcast
years. Sorry, Greg.
quite often. dropping every Monday wherever you get your pods.
You've literally never said it on that podcast.
No, I have.
That was just you.
It was a way of promoting the pod.
No, because I made
done.
when I turned 69, I made a joke that's sort of a weird age because everybody's gonna make their little jokes and make their little.
Well, thanks for making
whatever.
it weird.
And so that's how old I am. I have no idea how old Mike's father is.
Your age.
He's exactly my age.
But he doesn't look it. He is.
Well,
He doesn't.
okay.
He's a young 69.
Right. I'm an old 69.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look old for my age. I look 89. That's where you're supposed to say, no, you don't. You don't look 89. I mean, come on. Let's not get carried away. But what can I tell you? I mean, it
Something
is what
interesting?
It is. He brought it up.
He did ask the question.
I mean,
You're right, Greg.
how am I supposed
Yeah.
to react to somebody comparing me to somebody else my age and saying he looks younger than you? I mean, how does one respond to that? Congrats to Mike's father, that kind of thing.
Can I ask you guys off of last night's game, Jacksonville and Cincinnati? I'm always laughing at the fact that the sound, when it comes from Jacksonville and Jacksonville sports, the audio, the video, all of it seems like it's a little behind the rest of us. Something about the coverage and the information coming out of Jacksonville is a little more polluted and feels like not quite as pure as some of the other places. So Jacksonville in general, Florida is a strange place. Jacksonville is quintessentially Florida. And yesterday, while Trevor Lawrence, who's pretty valuable, is on a bad ankle, I'm thinking to myself, and Don Van Natta pointed this out, he's limping all the way back to the locker room. There are so many golf carts in this state. And your quarterback and your economy is hobbled on a clearly bad ankle. And he's walking all the way back to the locker room when every weekend I'm watching guys carted who aren't as valuable as Trevor Lawrence in terms of salary. And I'm wondering to myself, how is it that Trevor Lawrence is making his way all the way back to the locker room on a bad ankle when he's a quarterback for $1 billion industry?
With no transportation?
A multi-billion-dollar industry. You've got a golf cart. You've got a Jets golf cart.
Yeah, I drive it everywhere. I mean, I drive it to get the mail. The mail's, 25 yards away. Right.
Somebody should have lifted him, cradled him like a toddler.
Right.
And carried him.
Agreed.
He's like 6'6".
Agreed.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, sometimes you got to walk it off, though. I mean, you do. You got to walk it off.
Right.
I mean, he walked it off. He did.
I can
Rub some
lift,
dirt on it.
Yeah.
I can lift someone who's 6'6". If McGill was in here right now, I'd lift him. I'd cradle him like a toddler.
Greg, you're an
carry
old
him out of
person.
here. I've got old man strength.
All right, let's try it. I'm
Well, not you. No. I mean, someone not quite as girthy.
Ah, damn.
I mean, give me a thin man. I'll lift. I'll lift Bellamy in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me?
All right, let's go. Roy, go in there.
Roy, get in here. Come on.
All right.
I got to see this.
No, this is good.
But if I strain my back,
You're going to strain your back.
He's going to
I'm
hurt
a little
himself.
concerned. Someone needs to protect themselves and say, this is a bad idea on camera.
what's Roy weigh? About 150?
190 is what he said.
We'll do
No
that for this,
way.
but not the foot girl
Does he
thing.
really weigh 190?
Yeah.
When I made that offer, I thought he weighed 150. Roy, you don't weigh 190.
Is 150 your limit? Is that what you're saying?
Who here weighs 150? Anybody?
You looked at me, but no, sorry.
Wait a minute. What just happened? So Roy's leaving the room and we're not going to get the
I don't,
180.
I don't lift 188. I'm sorry.
We'll get Lewis or something.
You just said you could lift McGill. You
Well,
just said you
that's
could
true.
lift a
I did
6'6"
say that.
person. Is
You're
it
right.
Wembanyama? Like, what do you just need an incredibly thin
Yeah,
person?
I need like
Lewis
a
looks.
thin
Lewis
man.
should be like 150. Let's
Yeah.
get Lewis in
All
there.
right, let's go.
Yep.
I don't.
I'll
want
lift
it.
him in a heartbeat.
I am so tired of Lewis on
heartbeat.
camera.
Worried about that
Like,
heartbeat
So
that you
tired
just
of
mentioned.
Lewis on camera.
Might be the last one.
I don't want Lewis on camera.
And contextually, we need a 150-pound man.
All right, Lewis, come on.
Let's go, Lewis.
Come on, Lewis. Go ahead. Contextually, we need the payoff
Hat
here
on too. Wow, so like 150.
of Greg Cody. I want you to cradle him
two-pound
behind
hat.
me. No, get over here. Get behind me.
Don't lift with your back. Lift with your legs.
No,
Christ.
do it all back. Yeah, that's how you
Can't
do
say
it.
legs.
Plant your feet.
Greg, do not injure yourself here.
Dig your great toe into the ground.
Hey, hold on a second.
God.
Put the photo of Greg Cody's awful face behind him, please. So that we
Lewis
can,
would normally do that, so I don't know who's gonna.
We've got another video department. It's not just Lewis. We've got other people. I know. We're paying other people back there. Go ahead. You're only doing it once.
Want to
Go
make
ahead.
it clear I'm against this
Now,
decision.
You got to hold it for as long as you can.
Oh, wow. We did it.
What an upset.
Yes, not a thin 6'6" man, not anything he said he was going to do, just a light, frail man I didn't want on camera. Yes, hooray for Greg Cody, not doing what he said he was going to do.
Win.
The Greg Cody experience, everybody.
I did what I said I was going to do.